not good.
It's about time. 5 losing seasons. Fire his ass already.
Oh, actually, the game only knows of 3. Remember? We restarted the Dynasty so I could fix our uniforms.
Your uniforms? How about fixing your gameplay?
Let's do it. Alright, welcome in everybody to the Year 6 season preview of Dave Show Truckers Football. I'm your host and game player David Johnson, and joining me here as always is Harry Downer.
Year 6.
That's right, it's been hard for us since we got a hold of this thing over here, and as Harry mentioned earlier, 5 losing seasons, a 23-38 overall record, 12-33 against conference foes in the SEC, and 3-16 against the top 25. Folks, I know a lot of you are watching this guy who calls himself not the expert win national titles after playing 10 road games. If you want to watch someone who's not the expert, your boy's right here.
Yeah, but your channel should just be called Sucks.
I wouldn't go that far. We did a lot better than I thought we would last year. A team with an 83 overall rating finished with an overall record of 5-7, 2-7 in an SEC East division where we were the only team out of the 8 to not make a bowl game. Heading into this season, our overall ratings have improved.
Yeah, y'all are still the worst rated in the division. There's no reason to believe you're any better working the sticks.
Oh yeah? The fact that I only threw 14 interceptions last season doesn't give you pause for belief?
You just don't throw as much.
Travis McPherson threw for 534 yards in the South Carolina game.
Yeah, in garbage time.
Whatever, we had the Cox on the ropes.
Please, we all knew you'd f that one up.
Okay, well, that wasn't the most consistent Dave Show performance ever, but McPherson proved that he's got some firepower, and he's only gotten better since the end of last season.
Ooh, 87 overall. What was he last year, 86?
83.
Exactly. You got nothing, Johnson. Show some decency and step down.
Well, the decent thing to do would be to not give up. T-Mac's our man, and he actually had a decent season last year. 66% completion percentage and a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Number 17 will look to close out his college football career with a bang.
Yeah, that bang will be you getting him injured again.
Yeah, I'll try to be more careful with my guy. Without him going down, we could have had better shots in the Arkansas and Missouri games. However, our backup quarterback Bo Fellatio has shot up to an overall rating of 80.
Well, we know Fellatio can make him shoot up.
This coming off the heels of a tough true freshman campaign in relief last season. 0 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Yikes. The quarterback we're most excited about on our roster, though, is 4-star recruit Davy Jones out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Look at that speed. That acceleration. Jones is redshirting this season. He'll likely be the starter in year 7.
Too bad you're gonna get fired before you get a chance to use him.
Really? You think that's gonna happen?
It should.
Well, if we get off to a nightmarish start and I just feel like running option plays all day, we'll lift that red shirt off old Davy Jones. Otherwise, look for him in year 7.
Last year, this guy was sucking off old Fellatio.
Well, we got somebody better. And speaking of better, our offensive line has improved, returning 4 starters from last year.
Wasn't that the worst offensive line you've ever had? God forbid they don't at least get better.
Right? Their average overall rating has gone from 75 to 79. And the new starter is at right tackle, true freshman John Thomas, a 3-star recruit who turned out to be a gem. And backing everybody up along the line, a 4-star recruit, true freshman guard Darren Bryant, whose 76 overall rating actually makes him good enough to start.
Why isn't he?
I gotta let the senior William Bolden finish his career as a starter. And since we'll have 3 starting linemen graduating after this year, the top of our recruiting board's got a bunch of big uglies. At the very top, 3-star guard Spencer Riley, a gem. Just gotta catch up to the rival Florida Gators. We've also got 3-star centers Nick Miranda and Zeph Robinson, both 100% scouted, and just like with Riley, we're right behind the Gators. Come on, guys! Ugh.
What a frickin' weirdo.
Behind the line, starting at running back, the junior Adrian Williams. Not a lot of yards per game last year. Not a lot of yards, period. And often joining him back there as we run a lot of triple option is the senior Brian Williams. No relation. Not a lot of yards for him either, but a tad more effective per carry. Adrian gets the starting gig because of the higher overall rating.
Wow, how'd you come up with that one, coach?
Anyways, on to the receivers. And the highest overall rated player on our team is real-life New Orleans Saints breakout star Traquan Smith.
What?
He came to us via a transfer a couple years ago from our neighbors in Orlando, that phony national title-winning UCF Knights.
Uh-oh, is this the part where you announce that you're playing him again? 'Cause I dare ya.
Nope, we kicked their ass last year. That'll do for now. Traquan had a relatively quiet season last year, but with his leap to a 93 overall rating, we're hoping he can replicate a year like Brandon Glover had last year. Man, this dude was a beast from the slot, leading the Truckers in receiving yards and touchdowns. Might have to keep him there. The senior Glover's overall rating now 87. The number 3 receiver this year is Sammy Willis. And check this out. Our top 6 receivers on the depth chart are all seniors.
Uh-oh, Davy Jones gonna be forced to use that speed.
Outside the depth chart, we've got 1 sophomore and we're redshirting 3 freshmen. And on our recruiting board, we're in the lead for 4-star receivers Andy Smith and J.R. O'Neal. Both 100% scouted, just gotta hang on to our 200-plus point leads over Miami and Florida State respectively.
Yeah, thanks for proving my point. That's nothing.
Well, how about starting at tight end this year as JUCO transfer junior Dave Ross?
Yeah, 78 overall? He sucks too.
Well, here at Dave's show, we've had a legacy of legendary tight ends, and none of them had overall ratings much higher than Ross's.
What's your overall record again? 23 and 38? Yeah, some legacy.
On to the defense, and along the line we've got 3 returning starters, including at right end, the 3-year starter, junior Nathan Collins, now with an overall rating of 87. Last year he was pretty quiet though, as he only had 2 sacks. And I think that's because opposing quarterbacks were busy running away from him and running into the other guy. Left end Keith Bailey and his 26 career sacks have graduated. Attempting to fill those shoes will be the senior Sean Gower, who actually has the same overall rating of 83 that Bailey had, and he has 1 career defensive touchdown. Remember this beat, Harry? Rebels start with the ball, their own 42. Hollendak to throw. Sack! Fumble! Picked up by the defense! Sean Gower!
Damn it.
Touchdown Truckers! Talk about a bad beat! Harry was over here counting his money, but Vegas is taking it back with him.
I bet online. Yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome. Anchoring the middle of the line, the All-American senior Warren Estevez for the rest of us. Last year, he came away with 5 sacks. And next to him will be the junior Syracuse transfer Stephen Clark. He only had the 1 sack last season, but his overall rating shot past last year's starter, the senior USF transfer Kevin Bronson, who had 4 sacks last season. But he'll end his career spending more time standing on the sideline. And check this out. As 4 of our 5 defensive tackles are seniors, back to our recruiting board, we're going all in on 4-star recruit Kenny Temple. 55% scouted so far, and got a lot of ground to cover to catch up to Kansas. Which, if you're coming out of the backwoods of West Virginia, where would you rather go?
Well, he's also got Washington and Vanderbilt up there.
Yeah, that's true. But we're also targeting 3-star recruit Marcus James, 100% scouted, This dude's a gem! We just gotta fend off a slew of SEC teams. On to the linebackers. We return 2 starters, both on the outside. To the left is senior Brett Daniels. Not a ton of action his way last year. And on the right, the All-American senior Daniel Seward, and he was a busybody. 24 tackles for loss and 6 sacks. Look out for him. In the middle will be the senior Bo Brown. Great name. He's seen limited action in his career, mostly on special teams. Brown wears number 1 in honor of former Florida State All-American linebacker Sam Cowherd.
Who?
Man, what a great picture. As you can see, we'll have a mass exodus of linebackers after this year, as even our backup, Matt Hart, is a senior. So back to our recruiting board. We're targeting 2 4-star outside linebackers that we're referring to as the Mick brothers, Ryan McKnight and Doug McCoy. Both 100% scouted. These dudes are pretty good. Just got a 300-point mountain to climb with McKnight, and gotta fend off these Florida schools with McCoy. We're also going all in on 4-star middle linebacker Greg Bass. Another great name. 100% scouted. Again, we gotta fend off some Florida schools. And we're also on the top of the list of 4-star outside linebacker Daniel Fuller. 100% scouted. Just gotta fend off all these teams from all over the country. That wraps up all the guys on my board that I'm putting points on, so please, if there are any NCAA 14 recruiting experts out there watching this, let me know if I'm f***ing any of this up.
You are.
Well, you're no recruiting expert. On to the corners. Our main cat is the junior All-American Joe Chambers. Dude came up with 4 interceptions last season. And on the other side, the sophomore All-American, the mayor Kevin Johnson, which I think we have so many All-Americans here because just about our entire defense leads the nation in tackles every year. I forgot to mention that in my top 5 fails video.
You failure.
Returning to start at free safety, the controversial junior All-American Mike Johnson.
The girl hitter.
Well, strangler. He came to us via transfer from Iowa State a couple years ago, and he had plenty of opportunities to let out some of that hostility on our opponents last year with his 66 tackles.
Cut that loser's ass, you enabler.
Psst, guy was an All-American.
Who wasn't?
And taking over at strong safety, the senior Robert Porter, who's had limited playing time in his career here, mostly on special teams. And backing up both safeties, the former 4-star recruit from Oregon, redshirt freshman Charlie Newton. Look for him to be a stud in the defensive backfield for the Truckers in the coming years. And speaking of studs for the coming years, we finally have a decent kicker at Dave's show. The 4 years with Jason Utley are finally over, replacing him, already with a better overall rating than Utley ever had, the sophomore JUCO transfer Courtney Johnson. Guy's hitting him from 50 yards at practice.
Congratulations.
Taking over punting duties will be the redshirt freshman David Barber. His 81 overall rating is just as good as Ernie Washington's last year in his senior year. So Trucker fans, I think your boy recruited some kickers.
Whoopee.
Come on, Harry, you know this team's on the up and up.
Yeah, right. It's gonna take a lot more than these average Joes to get your team a winning season.
Well, how about some clever scheduling?
What did you do?
In keeping with SEC tradition of scheduling inferior non-conference opponents, the Dave Show Truckers will open their 6th season in Atlanta, Georgia. We're taking on the Panthers of Georgia State University.
What? Why?
Well, as you know from the beginning of this season preview video, I gotta get a winning season, and we beat these guys 3 years ago by 4 touchdowns. And the reason we're heading up to the ATL to play on this time around is because I don't want to play 8 home games. So this is about the safest non-conference road game I could come up with.
After all that, this will be Georgia State's Super Bowl. I don't think it's premature to put you on upset alert already.
Well, go ahead and do it.
It's done. I've got them locked in at plus 21.5.
Okay. We follow that up with our home opener against the 4th-ranked LSU Tigers.
Oh yeah, I'll take them as 3-touchdown favorites.
Yeah, last year was pretty ugly. But after playing them 3 times in Baton Rouge over the years, finally, this will be the Tigers' first ever trip to Dave Show.
Doesn't matter.
Alright, and then the next week, Dave Show takes their first ever trip to Arkansas to take on the 20th ranked Razorbacks.
Suey pig suey. I'll take them by 3 touchdowns.
So what, you're saying we're gonna start the season 0-3?
Nah, you'll probably beat Georgia State. I just don't think it's a gimme.
Oh, well, thanks, I guess.
Don't mention it.
The following week, we return home to host the 14th ranked Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh! Wait, what was that crap about you doing some clever scheduling? This is the same schedule you had last year.
Well, not quite the same opener as we had last year, but yeah. The conference games are virtually the same. But before we get to that, we've got a non-conference game up next, and guess what? We're finally doing it. We've got FSU on the schedule.
What?
Fresno State University is coming to Dave Show. How clever is that?
You're trolling us? Come on.
What? We're in no shape to play against Florida State. And remember, I gotta get a winning season out here.
Well, this one's no gimme either. This program's taken down much better teams than you. Let's put you on upset alert again.
Well, we follow that one up with 2 road games in a row. The first, at 25th ranked Kentucky.
Oh, they're ranked now? You're done for.
What, you got us at 1-5 at the halfway point?
Nah, I'll give you the Fresno game. I got you at 2-4.
Well, alright. The following week, we take a bus up to Gainesville to take on the Florida Gators.
2-5.
Oh boy.
That's what I'm telling you. You're getting fired.
Well, the next week, the first of 3 home games in a row, and you gotta give us this W, as we play host to the generic FCS Southeast Pirates.
Those dorks again?
Yeah, they were our first ever opponent, still the most lopsided victory in Dave Show history.
Are you gonna implement this same strategy out at practice that week?
And we had a talk like a pirate day one day out at practice.
Avast me landlubbers. Best not be fumbling me football. Yar.
Like that.
That's not a terrible idea.
Yar.
Oh, the next week, we play host to the Tennessee Volunteers.
3-6.
Really? This isn't a toss-up game for you?
Read your graphic. You're 1-4 against these guys.
Great. Well, following a bye week, our 3rd straight home game is against the 19th ranked Missouri Tigers.
3-7.
Come on, man. We've got a winning record against these guys.
Yeah, but last year they shut you out and they're on the ascent while you're on a flat line.
We're on the ascent too.
Sure you are, Mr. 5 losing seasons, soon to be 6.
Well, after a month of staying at home, we're finally back out on the road as we take on the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Oh, and you always take a pounding from the Cocks. 3-8.
We finish the season at home, and as always, against Vanderbilt, who's currently ranked 16th.
Get on your knees and blow that Admiral. 3-9. You're right. That is some clever scheduling. Well done.
Okay, so no surprise Harry's picking us to lose every conference game, despite the fact that we're returning nearly everybody from an overachieving team last year. But, whatever. And speaking of clever scheduling, here's what we're going to do to mix things up starting next year. We're going to swap divisions with Kentucky, Missouri, and Vanderbilt, with Kansas, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss, as the Mississippi schools are the only teams we've yet to face in the SEC. After 2 years of that, and we've got a juggernaut put together, we'll swap Kansas and the Mississippis for Alabama, Auburn, and LSU. Imagine that!
A juggernaut that you put together? Yeah, only in your imagination.
Also, we're going to alternate our protected SEC West matchup between the Southwest Classic rivals Arkansas and Texas A&M.
Why are we even talking about all this? You're getting fired after this season.
Really, Harry? It said my job security is safe for now. That isn't exactly the hot seat.
Well, when you go 3-9, that seat's gonna be hot.
Well then, if that happens, I'll have to agree with you, but I doubt it. And that'll do it for us here. Let us know your expectations for this upcoming season down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and click that little bell so you don't miss a moment of the action. For Harry Downer, I'm David Johnson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next show. Roll Truckers!